Here we are, folks, at Thornton, Illinois for the running of the Aflac 300K, our first regular season timed race of the season. You'll see the clock ticking down on the top right of your screen. 20 minutes this race will last, or 5 laps preferably, but yeah, so it's mainly a timed race, however, 20 minutes, and don't worry, we'll finish on time. But anyway, the pole setter, Benjamin Miles, got off to a really bad start along with many other drivers as he spins out on the very first corner of the race. A lot of drivers, in fact, as you see here, like I think about a quarter of the field spun out on the very first corner, and they're not really used to Thornton. Well, most of them are not experienced enough in Thornton, so it's fitting because, it's the tough course. It's a very long course, in fact, 12 miles stretching across the entire city. The entire city, and a lot of big turns, a lot of straightaways, a lot of good passing equals a lot of good fun. As speaking of which, as you see Dan Coffey trying to take the lead from Kyle Collins on the first lap, as Collins was took the lead after the spins by the pole setters and many of the front runners today, as this is going to be an unpredictable, exciting race, as already the pole setter did not even get through the first corner. Usually in the road courses, the pole setter would win and dominate, but this case, this is not just a road course race. It is a long marathon, 20-minute marathon, and as you see here, drivers still spinning out. We will let you see the wrecks after the race. We're just going to show you the race first, and then we'll show you the wrecks like we did in Levi's last race. So, and Austin Talley would join in on the mix, a battle for the lead against Dan Coffey in the number 90. So it's 40 against number 90 for the lead. As you see here, they're going to go down the second straightaway. This is another opportunity for the drivers to get better lines, to get a lot of speed until they have to stop really quickly on this corner in hopes of getting the pass. And speaking of which, Nick Altendorf now moves to third, and Austin Talley clears the number 90 as the 90 loses a lot of momentum. And if you're wondering why you're seeing the scoreboard, the replay boxes on the top right there, I'm trying to control it, trying to get to the best camera views because these cameras here are just horrific. I mean, they really don't show a lot of the action. Well, most cameras are okay, but some cameras, they just ruin the action. Nick Altendorf takes the lead from Talley, but he hits the wall one of the turns, and Dan Coffey cleanly goes through the 15 of Altendorf for the lead. And he zooms by everybody else, but it's only the very first lap of the race. Anything can happen. Speaking of which, look at Zachary Chambers falling to the turn of death. A long fall, and he calls for barrel rolls, and that is gonna leave a mark, as the Chambers was actually the only victim of the turn of death, believe it or not. That's what Seth Cole called that big turn, the final corner at Thornton, Illinois. It's been very popular. We've had races in Thornton in the past seasons, but they've had a lot of problems with crashing. We had a lot of issues with that. However, now we're running on Mac, and it's been pretty clean, more cleaner than I expected. And the racing here is pretty good. So we were able to finish on time without getting without getting a crash. And Kyle Collins was able to take the lead back again from the 90 of Dan Coffey. But Coffey wouldn't give up, though. He tries to keep the lead. They're going side by side through the straightaway on lap number 2. As this will be we'll probably get 5 laps in the 20-minute time period, in the 20-minute time limit, as we have almost halfway through. We just got about a dozen minutes to go. As Kyle Collins coming off the turn right here, he tries to take the lead away from the 90. He couldn't quite clear the 90. Sean Harple behind him trying to find a room as well. The 14 as well, DJ Curtis. But then he hits the wall. The 17 hits one of the walls there. That allows Curtis to take the lead. DJ Curtis zooms by, but then he hits a wall of his own on the next corner. And that will allow Daniel Coffey to retake the lead again. Wow, it seems that Coffey has been an expert in these kinds of turns. He has raced in Season 5, so he does have a bit of an experience in Thornton. And this is with the camera views that I'm talking about here, as they're really, really awful. And it's really tough to get most of the action at this track because of those cameras. Just 7 minutes to go in the race, and DJ Curtis has retaken the lead eventually. But Dan Coffey, as you know, coming off this corner, Coffey's going to take the lead back from the 14, as Coffey is a real expert navigating through these turns. He has experience at Thornton before. But here we go, just 3.5 minutes left. All of a sudden, we had to skip through most of the race because we want to fit the time limit. We want to get this short, and also we want to only want to get you the action parts, the ones that are really matter, the ones that are really exciting, instead of dragging for like 20 or more minutes. Along with boring racing, we're just going to show you the good parts. So 3 minutes left. DJ Curtis trying to battle against Dan Coffey for the lead. These guys would battle the top 5 all day, thanks to the mess that was brought up on the very first lap of the race, which brought most of the top 10 starting lineup out of contention right off the bat. As you see here, a couple drivers already down a couple laps because of the wrecks earlier today. It was a messy start, as you can see. We'll get to that messy start after the race. But here we are, just a lap and a half to go. As you see, the 14 trying to clear the 90, Dan Coffey, the 17, Kyle Collins, trying to help out in the 55, and Nicholas Guerrera we have not talked about all day. He's in the top 5. Nick Altendorf is dropped down to 5th. Austin Talley dropped out of contention early, and he had a spin with RJ Bishop. We'll get to that spin later. But Nicholas Guerrera, after DJ Curtis hits the wall, takes advantage and takes the lead, heading down to the white flag with 1 lap to go. Just a minute and a half racing left, and it will be the last lap of the race. And as these tracks last about 4.5 minutes to take 1 lap here at Thornton. And here we are, the final 10 seconds of the race. Again, we skipped over most of it because they were not really fun. We only wanted to get you the good parts. And the timer runs out. So now this will be the last lap of the race. Whatever lap they will on will have to be finished. Guerrera and DJ Curtis trying to battle it out for the win. Daniel Coffey, Kyle Collins, Nick Altendorf, don't count them out just yet. Coming down to the straightaway, here they come off the cup final corners. Coffey looking to make a run on the 55 of Guerrera. He gets on the bottom, gets one of the corners. He's trying to find the best line he could take on this long and wide stretch of the track. As you see, both are going uphill. It looked like Coffey's going to take advantage. Guerrera, though, still hanging on. DJ Curtis trying to find a line, trying to find where to go. Here they come off the corner. Coffey stuck up high. Guerrera trying to keep it. Coffey hits the wall, and Guerrera's going to pull away from the rest of the top 5. Nicholas Guerrera has been a long-time driver in the NR Town 3 community. But this is actually his rookie season here in the NASCAR Pokemon Cup Series. And what a way to get a win here at Thornton on your rookie season. And he is going to do it thanks to those wall hits on the corner. Final corner, Nicholas Guerrera is going to pull away from the pack. And he's going to take home the Aflac 300K as the timer runs out. And he will win it here in Thornton, Illinois. It was a fun race. What a way to get your first career win. Now, before we get to the finishing results, let's show you the wrecks that happened during Thornton. Most of the wrecks happened on the first lap, but like I said, it was a crazy first lap. Anyway, he gets to celebrate with the pretty ladies at Victory Lane. Nicholas Guerrero wins it at Thornton. Dan Coffey, DJ Curtis, Nick Altendorf, Kyle Collins make up the top 5. Connor Breen, Nathan Hudson, Kyle Singer, Roman Ray Hall, and Matt McIntyre round out the top 10. Benjamin Miles was the heartbreak of the race award. He went from the pole, but he did scamper to finish in 37th. Only 3 drivers finished not on the lead lap: Jack Blake, Johnny Garner, Zachary Chambers. So despite the wreckage that happened in the first couple laps, only 3 drivers didn't finish the race on the lead lap. We'll have another timed race at the new track, Beer Gut Gully, for the running of the ShopRite 500. Same time limit, 20 minutes, so it's going to be very fun. We'll see you at Beer Gut Gully.